Everybody, welcome to today's show. My name is Jonathan. As always, I got the Masters crew here with me. The Doc, Alec. What's up, guys?
Just excited to break down some trades.
Yes,
Yeah,
more
yeah.
Dynasty trades incoming. I've been scouring I've been doing trades all week. Handpicked some of my favorite ones. We're going to take a review of them today. If you could hit the like and subscribe button, I'd love for you to come be a part of the Masters family. If you're already a part of the Masters family and we haven't done one of your trades yet, what are you waiting for, man? Get out there, make some blockbusters. You can be on the show next week. With that said, let's jump right into this first one. One of my favorite trades of the week, actually. We got Clyde Edwards-Helaire, Deebo Samuel, and a first-round pick for Alvin Kamara and Austin Hooper.
This is an interesting one.
Yeah. I feel like, just looking at it, I feel like Hooper and Debo are in a similar boat where they're kind of hampered by the other talent around them, where they're probably like the third, maybe even fourth option on their offense. It depends. And then if you break it down that way, it kind of goes to, Kamara for Clyde and a future one. As much as I love Debo, and I really do, I just think his situation is going to kind of cap his value a little bit. And I really do expect Hooper to have a big season this year. For that reason, I'm going to go with the proven commodity, Alvin Kamara, and just by a nose. I mean, that's really tough.
So,
I don't even know if I feel confident even saying that. Like, it's really close. It's pretty even to me.
Yeah, so actually, even before I even break down that trade, I just want to touch on something you said, just because I think it just reminds us all how quickly the landscape of NFL rosters and how we view players for Dynasty Fantasy Football changes so quickly. You mentioned Deebo Samuel is probably the third best option on his team.
Mm.
A year ago, people were saying Brandon Ayuk wasn't worth, a late first, early second rookie drafts because Deebo Samuel was the for sure number one, and there was no way Brandon Ayuk could, unseat him as the number one receiver. And here we are just a year later, and I feel like we all feel pretty comfortable that Brandon Ayuk's the number, Kittle's, kind of the number one in his own way, but the true number one receiver on that team is Brandon Ayuk, and
Right.
I know personally I felt like there was a good shot that would happen. I was high on Ayuk coming out. I think we all relatively were, but it's just interesting to hear you say that.
Yeah.
So, I heard so many people
very
say,
quick.
"Oh, why would you get Ayuk? Debo's there, blah blah blah." But it's just crazy how quickly all that changes.
He's also got to stay on the field, too.
Right? Yeah, Debo's had a hard time.
Banged up a lot.
With all that being said, I do think Clyde Edwards-Helaire, Deebo Samuel, and a first rounder could be enough for me to move to trade away Alvin Kamara just because, you're getting a younger running back with a lot of potential, a guy in Deebo who still could, have a lot of Jarvis Landry type years in my opinion, and then a first rounder next year as well. I think that's a really good haul for Alvin Kamara and one that I think could be worth moving him for.
Yeah, I agree. Just sitting here looking at Alvin Kamara, I'm just thinking in my head, this guy's poised for a really big season this year. No Drew Brees.
Yeah.
They're probably going to lean on him.
Lean on him,
heavy,
yep,
so
exactly.
For the next 2-3 years, I don't know if you're going to find a more valuable running back or fantasy commodity at all.
Yeah.
But that is a pretty good haul, having said that.
Yeah. I like that trade, though.
Yeah, going to move on to the next one here. We got some tight ends. And I actually picked this one. I don't know if you guys remember a couple weeks ago. We were talking about Kelce, and I had said, maybe go try to get 2 ones for him. And, JB said, which I do agree. I think it's a little much for Kelce.
Yeah.
Having said that, I'm seeing these trades all the time for Kelce. Font, the 2.4, 2 future ones for Travis Kelce.
Yeah, so actually, kind of on the last show, I think, or maybe 2 shows ago, I alluded to it. Like, trading for Kelce right now is just almost too hard. You're just going to give up so much, and, yeah, he could help you win a league the next year or two. But I just worry about giving that much for a tight end who's over 30. I know he could play, up until mid-upper 30s, but I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
I think looking back on it, getting Noah Fant, who's a really good talent, an early second this year and 2 first next years, that's a lot of firepower in Dynasty Leagues. So I think that has more value going forward, but Travis Kelce won a lot of people some money last year.
Yeah, I'm going to side with Fant in the picks here. And again, it's close, and I can see both sides to it here. I just think that's a lot to get for Kelce. So, I mean, if I was in that position, I'd probably take it too. And then, Fant can only go up. I mean, he's a super talented guy, and the Broncos have kind of been actively looking for a new quarterback. So, I mean, I think his situation is only going to get a little bit better, too, as he gets better and better, and they add another quarterback that's not Drew Lock.
Yeah, and I'm with you guys. And, I mean, I'm just passing some of these trades along. I want you guys to see what some of these guys are going for.
Yeah.
I do think in every league, though, if you're sitting on Travis Kelce and you're not, a contender to win this year, there's probably one or two guys that are really close, and this puts them over the top. I mean, you go start offering trades, man. I mean, we're both agreeing with the fan side that we like, but guys, I'm seeing Kelce bring a haul.
Yeah.
I mean, week after week in trades.
What's funny, the way you said that, if you have Kelce and you're not a contender, Kelsey's almost so good. If you have him, you basically are a contender. But I mean, you got to at least see what you can get for him because you can probably get a really good haul for him right now. And it's, after this year, you're probably not going to be able to get nearly as much because he'll be another year older. And especially if a guy like Kittle, who's younger, but maybe outscores him this year, then all of a sudden, Kelsey's no longer going to be the extreme prized possession.
I just can't see it. Yeah. I think Kelce finishes one. I mean,
he
barring
played
injury.
But I was going to say barring injury, which I mean, we never like to predict injuries or anything like that. But early in his career, he got banged up, a few times.
But even then, I mean, he's only missed it's something ridiculous, like 2 games.
Yeah. And he gives you
is that small?
I think so.
And he gives you the biggest advantage over any other position.
He does, yeah.
Yeah,
over
absolutely.
Mahomes or any.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe Christian McCaffrey.
Yeah.
Maybe. Yeah. All right, in this next trade, small trade here, I guess the question I wanted to ask you guys, would you rather have Miles Sanders or the 1.5?
So that's tough because there's a lot of guys we like at the 1.5. On the Spotlight series, we've breaking down some good prospects coming out. However, I still really like Miles Sanders as well. And I think I would lean Miles Sanders over the 1.5 at this point. But depending on where these young guys get drafted, maybe I'll feel a little different. But right now, I think I'd be willing to give up the 1.5 for Miles Sanders.
Yeah, and right before you go, Doc, I just wanted to add this too because I was just talking to a guy that's in quite a few of these leagues, and he's been traded up to the 3-4 spot, and he said he's targeting Trevor Lawrence at the 3-4. So I mean that change is going to be sliding down.
I wonder who that guy is. Yeah.
Yeah. Shout out. John Beast, my man. Just something he's considering.
Yeah.
I mentioned it a couple shows ago too. I still think Miles Sanders has potential to finish as a top 5 running back in fantasy. I guess if you're set at running back, you might as well get that 1.5 and get one of these nice young receivers coming into the league. But if that that's really the only scenario I see myself making a trade like this because, again, I think Miles Sanders still has so much potential. And he really hasn't had, a healthy O-line at all in his career. So I think if that changes too, I think, and he stays healthy, I think we'll see a big jump for him. And I think that's more valuable than 1.5. And in terms of Kelce too, I checked. So he missed all but one game his rookie year. After that, he's missed one game.
That's amazing.
So he's missed like 16 total just because he missed all
that one season,
So,
but since that very first season, he's only missed one game, which is crazy.
Yeah, that is crazy, actually.
All right, going to move on to the next trade here. I've got Kareem Hunt, Calvin Ridley for David Montgomery, Preston Williams, 1.5, 1.11, and a 3.5 pick.
There's lots to break down here. I actually wish I had a calculator to help me out, which soon we will because there's one in the works. But, man, I see both sides here. I'm not quite as high on David Montgomery as I think most are, but that side also has 2 first-rounders.
Yeah.
I do like Kareem Hunt's value, even though, Nick Chubb's obviously there in the lead back. I think Kareem Hunt's just a great value as, kind of that pass-catching number 2 back role he has in Cleveland. And Calvin Ridley really came on strong last year.
Yeah.
He's a legit top 10 dynasty receiver. But, man, that's tough. There is still a lot of value on the other side as well. I'm going to stamp it with a fair trade, but I might lean the Calvin Ridley, Kareem Hunt side.
I agree completely. I think it's a fair trade, but I'll lean the Ridley and Kareem side. I think Ridley's the obvious best player in this trade, and then from there, I honestly think the difference between Montgomery and Hunt is very small. And Hunt's going to continue to produce, even though he's kind of pigeonholed into that second running back role in Cleveland. And even then, I mean, he's only on a 2-year deal, and I know we've talked about it a lot, but if he ends up somewhere else, I mean, not only will it help that he's not getting that full workload, I mean, he could easily still have a tread left on the tires in a couple years and end up as the number 1 somewhere else. So value-wise, I like that too.
Could you imagine if he went back to Kansas City in a couple years?
Yeah, that would be wild.
Or just anywhere.
I know, yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah.
With his own backfield.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, he's dynamic, man.
Yeah.
He
He can do it all.
All right, going to move on to the last trade here. And it's funny, I swear I didn't hand select these James Robinson picks.
Nah, there's a lot of James Robinson.
There are, and I think it just
But
shows like how controversial
exactly.
it is.
And
Some
kinda,
people don't
right.
believe in him. Some people
Yeah.
still do. So last trade we got here, actually a lot of controversy with these,
Yeah.
these guys.
Lots of them.
Deshaun Watson, Mike Evans, and Evan Ingram for Kirk Cousins, James Robinson, Cortland Sutton. I mean, Deshaun Watson, a guy we've seen getting traded quite a bit this week.
Understandably
I
so,
didn't
yeah.
pick a bunch of
Yeah.
them, so
Yeah, I was gonna say I'm actually surprised we haven't dove into one yet. Obviously, a really tough situation to value because even before some of the off-field stuff, just with him demanding a trade and Houston basically saying they weren't gonna do it, him threatening to hold out. There was a lot of uncertainty to begin with. Now some of the off-the-field stuff, it makes it even harder to know what his value will be this year. Will he get traded? Will he hold out? Will there be any suspensions? Really hard to know. However, I still think this side wins the trade, and that there's still a ton of upside in Deshaun Watson's career left, whereas Kirk Cousins is kind of on the tail end.
Right.
Mike Evans still has got some years left. Evan Ingram still could turn out to be a really good tight end. And I just don't love James Robinson. I've also come down a lot on Cortland Sutton, which I know he could be a good buy low because it's really just injury that took him out of last year. But I think this is a good buy low on Deshaun Watson.
Yeah, I mean, I'd have to agree. If there's any scenario where Deshaun Watson doesn't get suspended for what's going on right now, I think I take that side of the trade. I don't know. The more and more that comes out, I don't know what's going to happen. Who knows what will happen with Deshaun Watson going forward. Evan Ingram struggles to stay on the field, and he has his entire NFL career too. Being an Evan Ingram owner, I can say that confidently. You're not hurting with Kirk Cousins. A lot up in the air with James Robinson, like we've said. I could see Sutton having a big season. But also I could see Judy kind of bouncing back after a rough rookie year. This is a real puzzler of a trade. I can't really pick a side. I'll just say that it's fair for now. And if anything, I'd lean the Watson side just with the potential that, if things work out in Watson's favor and he doesn't get suspended or anything like that, which I don't really see happening at this point. But on the off chance that does happen, then you're getting a good quarterback at a little bit of a discount.
yeah. And some of the reasons I highlighted this trade because I don't even think he would have got this trade through.
No,
a couple
yeah.
weeks
Yeah.
ago.
No way.
Deshaun Watson's just too good.
Right.
But his value's definitely declining.
Sure.
In the future, no one knows. But it doesn't look good.
Yeah, it looks very bad. And not to mention, even before then, he kind of stuck it back to the Texans and said he would only play for Denver, or who was the other one? Denver, or he said he wouldn't play in New York and Miami when those seemed to be the two.
Yeah, I know Chicago was on the list at one point.
I think it was Denver and maybe Carolina.
Yeah.
That's where we all wanted him to go.
Yeah.
But yeah, for me, his value really started to get shaky just when he, was legitimately saying he'd hold out and not play.
Yeah, I
And
totally
then
agree.
Now all the other stuff on top of that, it just makes it hard to feel good about him.
You guys think if you shopped him around your league, could you still get a 1 for Watson?
Maybe.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know.
I'm gonna have to shoot out a couple offers. I don't have him in any leagues. I kind of want to shoot out a couple offers, see if I can get him cheap.
Maybe for a 2?
Yeah, I wouldn't give up a 1
I don't
right
think
now.
I would either.
Yeah,
Yeah.
maybe a 2. And
Maybe
someone with some
like a
upside.
late one. Maybe.
I would
If
like-
I was hurting for a quarterback.
I would like maybe if you got Jalen Hurts or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe try to give him.
Yeah, I
Maybe
mean,
Hurts even straight up at this point.
yeah, I would say so.
All right, guys, that's going to wrap it up for this edition of our Spotlight Trade Series. If you got any trade questions, got any trades you want to leave in the comments section, I'll definitely take a look at them and tell you which side I like. If you could hit the like and subscribe button. If you want to be on the show, get out there and make some trades. I'll be going through them all week, picking out some of my favorites. Appreciate you so much for watching.